Hey there, this is Kaylin, and welcome to the Chronic Yet Undefeated podcast. Today I thought I would go over just some annoying things people do because they care, and I think a lot of people with chronic illness can relate to this because we need support in our life, and we like to have support in our life, but also there are times when it's just like it's annoying in a way that you have to have that type of support. And one of those things that came to mind was people panicking when you don't answer your phone. I think for me, this is like a number one. And people have every right to be worried. Like when you don't answer and you have a chronic illness, they worry and they want to know if you're okay. I'm generally pretty good about answering, but there are times when a call didn't come through and then someone's knocking on my door because they said, "Oh, your phone wasn't working. I couldn't get a phone call through to you. Are you okay?" And then I have to answer the door and say, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. Thanks. Thank you for checking on me." And I appreciate it because if one day there was really something wrong, that's the kind of help that, would be really good to have. So, it's a good thing, but it can be an annoying thing. Or you're returning a missed call to people that are already halfway to your house. Like, you missed a call and you realize it's been a while, and then you're like, "Oh, sorry I missed a call. What's up?" And maybe they're already halfway there and you're like, "Oh, no, I'm okay. I just didn't see it right away. I was doing something else," or something like that. But accidentally scaring people when I don't respond too quickly is kind of frustrating sometimes because I might be in the middle of something really important that requires my focus. Like, I might be doing an errand, I might be finishing something up that I really have to get done. Or I might be doing dishes and my hands are soaked and I can't just answer the phone and people are worried. So sometimes it's frustrating. I can't leave a text too long because then people worry. But then again, it's a good thing too. Another one is family members asking if you took your medication multiple times a day. And some of you can relate to that one. Sometimes it's like, "Oh, you took it," but then you don't even remember yourself that you took it. And then you're trying to sit there and think about, did I open the bottle? Did I open the pill pack? Did I actually take it? And then family members are worried, or maybe you already took it and then your family member's like, "Did you take it?" And then suddenly you're like, "Wait, did I?" And it's just, you know how that goes. It's a good thing, but sometimes an annoying thing that you like need that in your life. Like when you're in public or at an event or socializing with other people, sometimes you might be closely watched by other people because they know your medical history, or they know that you have something wrong with you, you have a diagnosis of some kind, and they if you zone out for a moment too long, or you're fixated on something for a moment, and then people are like, "Are you okay? Are you all right? Like, you sure you're okay?" And sometimes you just might be tired. You just might have had a deep thought. Maybe you're daydreaming about something, like, but for real daydreaming, like imagination or something. You weren't like totally zoned out, not knowing what was going on. But then people worry, and I mean, it's good when people worry in a way, and they care enough to ask if you're okay. But like I said, it can be rough sometimes too. Or having people monitor your sleep, your eating, or your stress levels. I think for those that are chronically ill, this is a big one. Having people are like, "Did you get enough sleep? What time did you go to bed? Did you get up okay today? Did you eat something today? Did you eat breakfast, lunch, dinner?" Calm down. You don't want to get too worked up about this. It's good to have reminders, but it's also hard too because sometimes it's easy to forget certain things. Like you might skip a meal because you were really busy. You might be like, "Oh yeah, I didn't really feel hungry, so I didn't eat anything. Maybe I should eat something." It's good to have reminders too. A big one with epilepsy is people worrying about which video games you play. It's kind of a frustrating one because there are people with photosensitive epilepsy, which is a smaller portion, about roughly 3% ish of people that have photosensitive epilepsy. And I've had people over the course of my life be like, are you supposed to play that? Or, oh no, you can't play that. I won't let you play that because there's strobing lights or there's flashing lights or, you know, things like that. I've never been diagnosed as photosensitive. If I have had video games in the past that have had really intense strobing lights, I've often looked it up online first. I've often, asked people about it first. And I do have orange safety goggles that I can use to play a game that filters out that blue light pretty well. And it's a lot less bothersome than it would be. So it's kind of frustrating when people are telling you, you can't play that, you can't do that, I won't let you do that, it's a liability for me. You know. And of course I appreciate, what they do to support me. I appreciate that they care. And still it can be frustrating to feel that support too. And maybe you guys have some to add in the comments, so definitely add in the comments which ones that are like annoying, but it's only because people care. And I'm interested to see the comments on that. And one last thought is, before chronic illness, it's kind of hard because it used to be like, you want to go, you want to go hang out with us, you want to go do this, you want to go do that. But sometimes after a diagnosis, it becomes more like, are you allowed to go? Can you do that? Should you be doing that? And that becomes a little hard, or you feel like a little kid. Like, it almost sounds sometimes like, did you ask your parents first? Kind of a vibe to it. But people do it because they care and they don't want a problem on their hands or to cause you a problem, but still at the same time, you can see why that's difficult. So if you like this video today, hit the like button. If you don't want to miss another one, please hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time.